And welcome. Tonight, federal government files criminal case, 3 counts against senior advocate Mike Ozekome over alleged property forgery in the United Kingdom. Nearly 2 years after Oloka attack, 2 weeks after that attack, gunmen kill police officer, kidnap Indian in Oyo State. Governor Obasani says his administration will never negotiate with bandits, visits hospitalized wife and daughter of slain Anglican priest. And Denmark's Prime Minister says that Europe will not be blackmailed in response to President Trump's threat to impose tariffs on 8 NATO members over Greenland. The federal government, through the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, and the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, has filed a 3-count criminal charge against the senior advocate of Nigeria, Mike Ozekome, over alleged forgery and the use of false documents in a disputed property matter in the United Kingdom. Mr. Ozekome is accused of knowingly presenting forged documents, including a Nigerian international passport, to support his claim of ownership of a property located at 79 Randall Avenue in London during proceedings before the London First Tier Tribunal. According to the charge sheet, the offences include giving false information, using forged documents, and attempting to deceive a public authority. And documents listed as exhibits include the judgment of the London First Tier Tribunal, extrajudicial statements, correspondence from relevant authorities, and passport data relating to Shani Tally. The federal government also listed several witnesses to intend to call at trial, including investigators and a representative of the Nigerian Immigration Service, the NIS, and no date has been fixed for the arraignment. And almost 2 weeks after an attack at Oloka village in Oyo State, which left 5 persons dead, gunmen have again attacked Aqua Triton Company, an enterprise located at Ogumaki near Ibado in Oyo State, killing a police officer and abducting an expatriate. The Oyo State Police Command confirmed the incident, describing it as a coordinated commando-style attack on that facility. The police public relations officer, DSP Alayode Olayinka, says the assailants stormed the company premises and were engaged by security personnel on duty. He explains that one police officer lost his life while repelling the attackers, adding that some of the gunmen sustained injuries during the exchange before escaping with the expatriate. Following that incident, the Commissioner of Police, Oyo State Command, CP Femi Haruna, ordered the immediate response, and security operatives have now commenced intensive bushcombing operation across the area and its surroundings as efforts continue to rescue the abducted person. According to the police, a full-scale investigation has also been launched to unravel the circumstances surrounding the attack and apprehend those responsible. Meanwhile, the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, has visited Oloka community to commiserate with residents, reassuring them of strengthened security measures. Accompanied by members of his cabinet and traditional rulers, the governor announced a compensation of 5 million naira for each family of the slain forest guard. He also approved scholarships up to university level for the children of the deceased officers. During an on-the-spot assessment of the attack site, Governor Makinde pledged to rehabilitate the road linking Oloka community to Ikoyile under the Rural Access and Agricultural Market Project.
After a nearly 4-hour journey from Ibadan, Governor Seyi Makinde, who personally led a delegation to Oloka village in Ikoyile, Orire local government area of Oyo State, arrives the scene. The quiet community, grief from the recent attack remains heavy. Still, despite the pain of lost loved ones, residents came out to receive the governor and his entourage. Speaking with raw emotion, villagers poured out their concerns, appealing to authorities for decisive support and lasting security to prevent a recurrence. Addressing residents and community leaders in the local village, Governor Makinde expresses his condolence and assured them of a sustained joint security operation to protect the community. He said his administration would intensify efforts to strengthen Oyo State security architecture and improve living conditions for residents. He also revealed plans to formally request the establishment of a military base in Oloka to further enhance security in the area.
Ntaba needs to have a base, a forward base.
Governor Makinde later led residents in a minute of silence to honor the 5 fallen forest guards, paying tribute to their service and sacrifice.
This is the territory of Oyo State.
Earlier, the special advisor to the Oyo State Governor on Security, retired Commissioner of Police Fatai Wusheni, discloses that 3 key suspects linked to the killings have been arrested and are currently undergoing further investigation.
3 key suspects directly involved in that incident have been arrested, and our security commanders are working on them. The security commanders will live up to Your Excellency words that wherever they are, Oyo State is not going to be a place where bandits will be given a space to operate freely and go.
Security agents have vowed that they would not relent an ongoing onslaught that led to some arrests until all perpetrators of the deadly attack that claimed the lives of 5 forest rangers are brought to book. Bukola Oriwo, Channel Television News.
And Governor Obasani of Kaduna State has visited the wife and daughter of slain Anglican pastor, late Venerable Edwin Achi, after they were rescued by security agencies, having spent more than 2 months in captivity. Speaking during the visit at the 44 Nigerian Army Reference Hospital in Kaduna, Governor Sani promised to take care of the family while vowing that his administration will never negotiate with bandits and other criminal elements.
The 28th of October 2025 is a day that cannot be forgotten in a hurry, as the late pastor of the Anglican Church, Venerable Edwin Achi, his wife, Sarah, and daughter were kidnapped from their residence at Nisi Village in Chikun local government area of Kaduna State. While the wife and daughter regained their freedom after 78 days in captivity, the pastor died in captivity. Governor Obasani is at the 44 Army Reference Hospital to sympathize with the traumatized wife and daughter of the late cleric who are undergoing medical treatment and other psychological support at the medical facility. Governor Sani pledges continued welfare for the victims, first with the provision of decent accommodation and other psychological support in line with his administration's commitment to victims of banditry.
We give glory to Almighty God because they are recovering, and as one of the major police of Kaduna State government, we focus on the victims of insecurity in Kaduna State. We try as much as possible to support the families because we know the most important responsibility of the government is the protection of lives and properties of the citizens. We will try as much as possible to relocate them from their own house because we believe it's not safe for them. And we know they have gone through a very serious psychological trauma, and that's the reason why they will go through a very intense social therapy, because we believe they need to be looked into by doctors, psychologists, so that they can return back home.
Noting the successes of the Kaduna Peace Model in the reduction of banditry in Kaduna, the governor says the initiative has nothing to do with negotiating with bandits, adding that all criminal elements must be treated in accordance with the law.
Here in Kaduna, we do not negotiate with bandits. We do not have any space for bandits. We have zero tolerance for bandits. We believe they're criminals. We believe there are people that we must go after. When we're talking about Kaduna model means focusing on the victims.
The Bishop of Kaduna Anglican Diocese appreciates the governor for the visit, describing it as a source of comfort.
This governor is a governor I respect to my marrows. Why? He had shown tremendous humility in the midst of this. He had to come to my house, reassure me, and look at the result today. Apart from that, look at the fact that within his tight schedule, just coming into the state, he's taking time to come and see the victims. This is pragmatic leadership. This is leadership down to earth. And this is the type of leadership we want.
The governor's visit comes amid renewed efforts by the Kaduna State government to address insecurity and provide support to victims of banditry and violent attacks.
Staying in Kaduna State, but this time in politics, the governor of the state, Uba Sani, has set an ambitious target of registering 2.5 million new members into the All Progressives Congress, the APC, as the party's ongoing electronic registration and revalidation exercise continues across the state. Speaking during an APC Zone 2 stakeholders meeting in Sir Kashim Ibrahim Government House in Kaduna, Governor Sani says this initiative is aimed at strengthening internal democracy and expanding the party's grassroots base ahead of the general election in 2027.
This gathering of APC leaders, elected officials and grassroots mobilizers from the Zone 2 senatorial districts of Kaduna State is aimed at strengthening the party ahead of the 2027 general election as Governor Uba Sani continues his regular consultations across the state. The meeting provides an opportunity for stakeholders to review and assess the performance of the present administration.
We're here to discuss.
Top on the agenda of the meeting is the ongoing APC electronic registration exercise as Governor Sani unveils a target of 2.5 million new members into the party.
I would like to commend the committee under the able leadership of APC Chairman of Kaduna State, Yakubu Jakada, for a well-done job so far. What is happening at the moment, I can say that Kaduna State is one of the leading states when it comes to APC registration, but our target is clear from the beginning. We are going to be targeting at least 2.5 million new members who are going to register in our party.
The governor also highlights achievements recorded by his administration that has endeared it to the people, while also paying glowing tributes to President Bola Tinubu for his sustained support to Kaduna State.
Kaduna State was nominated to be the pilot state in Nigeria in our forgery project. And this project I'm talking about that will be commissioned or the groundbreaking for 10 minutes by the Progressive Board in the next 3 weeks will be the biggest poultry project in sub-Saharan Africa, meaning bigger than any poultry in West Africa. And it will create at least 350,000 jobs.
On their part, the APC leaders believe that achieving the 2.5 million target will further consolidate the party's dominance and reflect the growing confidence of Kaduna State residents in Governor Uba Sani's policies and leadership.
We have told His Excellency we will not let him down. We will continue to go in and out, up and down, to ensure that we encourage people to register, and so far, so good.
With the 14 million population in Kaduna State, we expect APC to produce nothing less than 2.5 million members, which by the grace of God, you see that.
As the meeting ends, Governor Sani is emphasizing the need for unity, inclusiveness, and collective responsibility in building a stronger APC in Kaduna State ahead of the general election.
And in part two, after the break, Governor Monday Okwaolo inspect a 14-kilometer road in Umode and Orionwa local government area of Edo State. Please stay with us.
Since Nigeria.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, broadcasting live from Lagos. A reminder of our main stories. Federal government files 3 counts criminal case against senior advocate of Nigeria, Michael Zekome, over alleged property forgery in the United Kingdom. Nearly 2 weeks after a local attack, gunmen kill police officer, kidnap an expatriate in Oyo State. Governor Obasani says his administration will never negotiate with bandits, visit hospitalized wife and daughter of slain Anglican priest. And Denmark's Prime Minister says that Europe will not be blackmailed in response to President Trump's threats to impose tariffs on 8 NATO members over Greenland. River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has pledged to uphold peace and safety across the state, vowing not to support any action that could threaten stability. Speaking as a special guest at the 2026 Port Harcourt Polo Tournament Finals, Governor Fubara emphasized that protecting lives and property remain top priority for his administration. He also reaffirmed his commitment to serving as governor and fulfilling his promises to the people of River State.
The governor of River State, and we will continue to do what we have promised the Rivers people that we will do. And I'm really happy that you had your tournament for 1 week and the president boldly telling the world that there was no incident. It shows that working and River State is safe. That is the most important thing. And that is the basic responsibility of government. We must move on. We must carry out our responsibility as government, and we must continue to support everyone who means well for River State. For all our guests, enjoy our state. River State is safe. For me, the life and property of everybody living and doing business here is the most important thing to me. I will not, for any reason, support directly or indirectly any act that will endanger the life of anyone. I made this promise here. I've made it severally. I'm saying it again.
Staying in the South region, in Bayelsa State, Governor Doyediri has joined residents of Kolokuma-Opokuma local government area of the state in a New Year Thanksgiving service. Community leaders, worshippers and government officials all came together to give thanks and dedicate the year ahead of prayer, service and shared prosperity.
The air in Kolokuma-Opokuma is thick with harmony and hope as the local government kicks off the year on its knees. Trading politics for praise, a vibrant assembly of traditional icons, clergy, and residents gather for a deliberate act of gratitude. It isn't just a ceremony. It is a spiritual roadmap, as Council Chairman Isaac Lele leads the charge to invite divine guidance into the community's plans for 2026.
For the beginning of the year, we bring God into Kolokuma-Opokuma. Kolokuma-Opokuma will be blessed for the rest of the year.
Echoes of worship fill the hall as the community lift their voices for the local government and the state's future.
My family.
Taking the pulpit, Pastor Zili Agri delivers a stirring charge, weaving together the vital threads of leadership, the power of gratitude, and the spiritual strength required for unwavering continuity in governance.
After now, because in February 14, 2028, by the grace of God, all of us here will be alive to come back here, where we are going to thank God for the miracle of 13th February 2020.
With a a microphone in hand and a song of praise on his lips, the governor moves the congregation before delivering a heartfelt message.
For all of us holding offices and positions, your service should be to the people. The common things that everybody will enjoy, both poor and rich. Don't be the only rich man in your community. By the 14th of February, there must be light in Abia State. Dedicate you back to God in the name of the Father, amen, in the name of the Son, amen, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
As the final amens echo through the hall, the service transitions from a moment of prayer into a movement for progress. With a collective plea for peace and visionary leadership, the event concludes by etching a new blueprint for the year, one rooted in unshakable faith and communal responsibility. For the people of Kolokuma, Okpokuma, and the wider Bayelsa State, the path forward is now paved with unity and a shared spiritual resolve.
We'll head to the southeastern part now in Abia State, where the governor, Dr. Alex Otti, has announced the full-scale reconstruction of the Abia State Government House, promising to complete the project before moving in. He expressed regret over the dilapidated condition of both his official office, his official place and residence when his administration took office. Governor Otti shared this during the solidarity visit by elder statesman and former military administrator of the state, Vice Marshal Frank Ajobena, retired at his country home in Isialangwa South local government area. And he
because of the state of that government, so we decided to start from there. While we are rebuilding that place, we are actually rebuilding it. The office is completely run down. And the residents integrity tests, so 10 pounds of wear and tear, so we have to pull it down. We are rebuilding, and we've gone to, it's going very well, but very soon we'll complete the 2 buildings and then move in there. Luckily we had a place like this, so it started from there. For the tractors, we don't really pay attention to them. We remain focused.
And on his part, Vice Marshal Frank Ajobena described the Abia State as a model for others in Nigeria, commending Governor Alex Otti for restoring hope and confidence among the residents.
I'm proud to say that the report I've been getting has been a very good report. And Abia State has been a reference point for most states in the country. The first breakthrough that I read of, that I saw, was the power thing in Abia, the geometric project. And Abia, we've always expected, will be the Taiwan of Nigeria. That has been the expectation right from the creation of the state. Because the people, the ingenuity, you can see it, you can feel it. Your Excellency, I want to, on a personal note, thank you for the selfless service you are giving to the people of Abia State. You are doing a good job. Please keep it up. There will be detractors, but don't let that deter you from what you are doing.
Governor Monday Okpeholo has inspected a major road project in his predecessor's village, sparking jubilation among the residents. The 14-kilometer Egwalo road, which spurs to a community, flagged off only months after the current administration took office as part of the state's infrastructure drive. It is designed to enhance connectivity within and outside the mainly agrarian communities in the state. Our correspondent Jessica Lubushere reports.
774 meters of the 14-kilometer Egwaolo-Igwomo-Uwenisi-Oza Road with spur to Ohe community, connecting communities in Oriomo and Wunde local government areas of Edo State, has been completed since the commencement of the project in June 2025, only months into Governor Monday Okpebholo's administration. The project aims to improve infrastructure and boost economic growth in the mainly agrarian region. It's the governor's first visit to inspect the project since its flag-off. Jubilant residents eagerly greet him. Governor Okpebholo says the road is a promise kept to the people and a demonstration of President Bola Tinubu's support for Edo's development.
This is Obasaki's community. You can see the excitement on their faces. He was governor for 8 years. He never remembered his people. But when I came here just to campaign, I told them, by the time I win, I'll come back to do this road. This is my second time of coming. The first time was when I came to flag off this road after my elections. Then the second time now is to come and see the progress of the job. To the people, they're happy.
The residents who praise Governor Okpebholo for bringing developments to the area say they'd endured underdevelopment long enough under previous administrations.
Right from time immemorial, we have this of this land. And therefore, the man Okpebholo has come to rescue us from the shackles of darkness. In fact, he has come to boost our economic resources. So we are very happy.
We enjoy this road. We value it. But maybe by the time we come back again, we will play something for him.
The government and residents are confident the 14-kilometer Egwaolo-Igwomo-Uwenisi-Oza Road with spur to Ohe community, upon completion, will open up these agrarian communities in Wunde and Oriomo local government areas, boost agriculture, and improve lives in the area. Jessica Olugusero, Channels Television News.
Residents of Fountain City in Ibuza in Oshimili North local government area of Delta State have called on the state governor to step in over ongoing concerns surrounding the demolition of properties and repeated disturbances by unidentified individuals. The residents say they duly processed all required documentation for their land. They took lawful possession and also obtained a court order in the matter. And they claim the situation remains unresolved with continued pressure and demands linked to the property.
Peaceful chants filled the air in Fountain City, Ibusa, as residents staged a protest to draw attention to what they describe as ongoing harassment over their land. According to the residents, the land was lawfully acquired from recognized Ibusa indigents with purchase agreements, payment receipts, and court rulings backing their ownership. Despite this, they say the situation has turned distressing with continued interference and the demolition of some completed structures.
You see the level of destruction from time to time.
The protesters are now appealing to the Delta State government to step in and bring lasting solution to the dispute.
We have paid all manner of money, including the immediate past governor, His Excellency Chief Atto Okowa signed that there should be nothing like development fee and all the rest. We have paid, some of us have paid more than 1 million. Okay. We have all the documents that these people say that this land is free from any form of encumbrance from government, that it is their community land, it is their farmland. And if you look at the level of destruction, look at it. If you look at the level of destruction that has been going on here, you will marvel what is actually going on. Last 3 months now, they told us that people came here and they started destroying. We said, what is happening? That we have already gone to Ibusa people, the issues of people, and they said that they are not the ones. Who are these ones now? People are dying day in, day out. Some of us have died. Some of us are bedridden now because of this issue. We are calling on our amiable governor. He's a God-fearing man. He cannot see this and keep quiet. If this thing linger, that we continue to, in fact, we will not stay, we will not be able to control it. They will not be able to contain it.
The impact of the demolitions has been deeply felt, particularly by retirees and members of cooperative societies.
We bought this land in a cooperative, and most of us are still paying the loan up till now. And some of as far as I retire, somebody like me, I've retired. All my gratuity, everything, even my husband is not here now because of the effect of this land.
Residents of Fountain City say swift government intervention is critical to protecting their investments, restoring peace in the community, and preventing the dispute from escalating further.
Still ahead on the news at 10, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency NDLEA arrests long-awaited suspected drug kingpin Lekon Jimo 12 years after being on the run. Please join us again. Welcome back. Vice President Cashew has arrived in the Alpine town of Davos in Switzerland to lead the Nigerian delegation at the 56th annual meeting of the World Economic Forum, scheduled to be held from January the 19th to the 23rd this year. The president arrived from Conakry in Guinea, where he represented President Bola Tinubu at the presidential inauguration of the president on Saturday. He was received on arrival by the ministers of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tugar, and Trade and Investment, Mrs. Jumoke Oduwole, and officials of the Nigerian mission in Switzerland.
We have, for the first time ever, a Nigeria House at Davos. Very exciting indeed. It will be declared open by His Excellency the Vice President tomorrow afternoon. At that house, we'll be launching 4 investor playbooks. Really, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has had a whole of economy approach, and we're here on the global stage to present solid minerals, to present our climate, sustainability, agriculture, to present our creative sector, and then our digital sector. So those are the 4 playbooks that we brought with us to Davos to speak with several investors from across the world, and it's really an exciting time for the Nigerian economy.
African ministers of minerals have re-elected Nigeria's Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Mr. Dele Alake, as the chairman of the African Minerals Strategy Group. This election, which took place on the sidelines of the Future Minerals Summit in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, had over 15 African countries in attendance. Speaking during the interview after the meeting, Mr. Alake asserts that the future of Nigeria's solid minerals sector is very bright, disclosing plans to make the country the hub of minerals in Africa. Our correspondent Kumbia Buluwadi reports.
Top officials from African countries are attending this meeting by the African Minerals Strategy Group, taking place at the King Abdulaziz International Conference Center on the sideline of the Future Minerals Summit in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
I want us to also...
Formed in 2024 with 16 member states, the African Minerals Strategy Group has risen to 24 African countries in membership, and due to the expansion of the group, a motion is adopted to enhance the governance structure of the group.
Because of our lack of having duly elected officials, we've been operating on a haphazard basis, and that's not good enough. Now we are attracting attention. We are going to be engaging in financial transactions. And anything that involves finance, we know that we must have credibility.
After the election, Nigeria's Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Mr. Dele Alake, emerges as the re-elected chairman of the group, while the Minister of Mines of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Mr. Louis Wantom Kambaba, is the new vice chairman. These positions, as well as other appointed positions, are to serve for a period of 2 years. Shortly after the meeting, the AMSG re-elected chairman speaks on the essence of the group.
We want local value addition to be located in Africa. That is the objective of the AMSG, and in the last 2 years we've recorded tremendous progress. For instance, this local value addition policy is now being adopted across Africa. A lot of the presidents in Africa are announcing total ban on the exploitation of raw minerals.
He also delved into the results of the sector-wide reforms introduced in Nigeria's solid mineral sector under President Tinubu's administration, disclosing the surge in lithium production from 150,000 tons in 2023 to over 350,000 tons in 2025.
In lithium, for instance, we had before 23 or so by 150,000 tons of lithium production. But given our local value addition and the efficacy of our incentives and the policy reforms, investors are coming into the sector in droves. And by last year, at the close of 25, the production of lithium had jumped to over 350,000 tons and will resume 150,000 tons. So from all angles of the indicators are just shooting up.
The minister further said that the future of solid minerals in Nigeria is very bright, promising to drive more reforms in the sector in order to make Nigeria the hub of minerals in Africa. From Riyadh, Kumbi Aboluade, Channels Television News.
In the year 2025, Dangote Refinery adjusted the price of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, 20 times, mostly downwards. But this raised expectations of impact in inflation, especially in sectors directly connected to the supply and pricing of petrol. Our business editor, John Mekwa, in this next report, takes a look at the spillover, if any, from the price adjustments.
First subsidy is gone.
A phrase that many Nigerians will remember for a very long time, mostly because it brought about the end of petrol subsidy policy and corresponding change in the price of petrol, which signaled a major part of deregulating the sector. Price at the pump, which was at about 254 naira in April 2023, had by late May of the same year surged to between 448 naira and 557 naira for a litre, depending on the part of the country. The surge continued until it peaked at 1,262 naira for a litre in March 2025.
In 2024, one of the biggest innovations of the Dangote Refinery was to collaborate with retail outlets, specifically MRS, Edim, Adova, and among others. I think that innovation helped to control retail prices across board.
The refinery's role as price influencer became obvious later in 2025. The refinery has promised a more stable price in 2026, especially as it plans to expand processing capacity from 650,000 barrels per day to 1.4 million barrels per day.
We are trying to insulate as much as possible the Nigerian market and bring stability to the Nigerian market. If you are fully import dependent, then you are fully exposed to the fluctuation in those markers of either crude or product price that we're talking about. So having that domestic production capability drives a level of insulation from the outside world, from the global volatility that you see in both crude and products.
The decline in the price of PMS at the pump, influenced largely by Dangote, has been largely celebrated. However, the impact seems hardly felt.
Could have been reduced, but it's not reflecting at all when it comes to transporters. So I think the question should be, what's going on?
For the last couple of months, since the reduction of the PMS price, I think they've reduced the price, but it has not reflected on the entire public.
They charge 1,000. Who is going to query them? We cannot trek to Lagos. We are bound to take.
No particular reason why the reduction is not reflecting.
Why we normally add price of transport is that when you get to the bus stop, you see people plenty. That's when the conductor will increase the price. But if you come to the bus stop, there's no crowd, you will reduce the price. The price will be down.
There's a perspective that when prices go up in Nigeria, it doesn't come down. And well, it's not just in the transportation sector. For instance, we've seen the price of flour, maize, for poultry feeds, and wheat even reduced. But we haven't seen a reflecting reduction in commodities like food, a plate of food in restaurants, or even a loaf of bread. And so we ask the question, does this need another government intervention, or should Nigerians and producers just think twice about pricing their commodities? John Mekwa reporting for Channels Television News.
A group of individuals are seeking redress from the Central Bank of Nigeria, the CBN, following a recruitment exercise that has left them in limbo since 2023. The affected persons claim that they were offered employment by the CBN after completing series of recruitment procedures, but their resumption had been stalled due to a change in the bank's leadership in 2023. Our correspondent Hajara Aliyu reports.
Emmanuel and Yakubu are addressing a press conference in Bauchi to highlight their predicament following an offer of appointment by the Central Bank of Nigeria in 2023. Displaying copies of appointment letters dated August 2023, they explained that about 60 candidates across the country were offered employment after what they described as a rigorous recruitment process.
After the medical screening, it took like a month or thereabout. Then an offer letter was issued out. We are all called to the central bank to come and pick our offer letters, which we all went to the headquarters, we signed and we received our offer letter. In the offer letter, we are asked to accept the offer if interested, which we did it without waste of time.
Yakubu, who had earlier granted an interview with Channels Television in Gombe, lamented that the recruits were instructed to resign from their former jobs in preparation for resumption.
Somebody like me and some of my other colleagues that we are all in the same basket at the moment with, we were actually working somewhere else. So on our offer letters, we were recruited with experience. And part of their documentation process when you are coming to come and start working is that you would have to come with your resignation acceptance letter from your old office. So we had to go and resign immediately.
Lamenting the unbearable condition of living, they say repeated efforts to get clarification from the CBN have yielded no response.
We organized ourselves because we're a group of 50 to 60 approximately. So we wrote an appeal letter directing to the central bank governor to kindly look into our plight and have a human face in whatever decision that they think or they took as regards to that very particular employment at that very particular moment. There was no any response.
One of our colleagues had to sell his cars to start affording school fees and whatnot. I think he has been working at a bank for more than 10 years. So this is kind of setback. It's definitely not fair.
Although efforts to get a reaction from the CBN proved abortive, the affected recruits are calling on the new management of the central bank and the federal government to intervene, citing over 2 years of unemployment amid harsh economic conditions. Hajara Aliyu, Channels Television News.
And in Kogi State, the Governor Usman Ododo has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to inclusive, grassroots-driven development with a focus on harnessing the country's and the state's agricultural potential. Speaking in Lokoja, the state capital, during the flag-off of the 2026 cashew season, Governor Ododo says the state is promoting the cashew value chain to drive economic diversification, create jobs, boost exports, and increase household incomes.
It is the official flag-off of the 2026 cashew season and the unveiling of the Kogi State Cashew Procurement and Trade Policy. The event attracts bankers, captains of industries, stakeholders in the agriculture sector, and top government functionaries, including members of the All Progressives Congress. Thank you. Nigeria currently ranks as the 4th largest cashew nut producer in the world, and Kogi State remains a major driver of this performance.
For the 2024-2025 production period, Kogi State's estimated annual output stands at approximately 350,000 metric tons. That's Kogi State alone. Our cashew are well regarded in international markets. They meet high quality standard with kernel output ratio of 49 to 50 and moisture content around 8%, sir.
The National Cashew Association of Nigeria, however, laments the uncooperative attitude of banks in Kogi State.
Your Excellency, sir, the bankers in Kogi State, they are not friendly to us in any way. They are not.
Determined to take its pride of place in the sector, the Kogi State government reiterates its commitment to encourage investments in large-scale commercial plantations.
Our administration is firmly committed to the establishment of cashew processing facilities within Kogi State. Processing is where value is created, jobs are multiplied, and prosperity is retained and shared.
The activities of unlicensed buyers and illegal middlemen is addressed by the governor.
The Kogi State government will no longer tolerate the activities of unlicensed buyers, illegal middlemen, and foreign agents who bypass due process and purchase raw cashew nut directly from the farm gates.
With the speeches over, the governor flags off the 2026 Kogi State Cashew Season Program. The event climaxes with the unveiling of the 5,000 improved cashew seedling for planting and the cashew procurement and trade policy.
Thank you so much.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have announced the arrest of the long-wanted drug kingpin, Lekon Jimo, also known as Kamo Kamo, 12 years after his alleged involvement in the killing of 3 NDLEA officers. A statement signed by the Director of Media and Advocacy of the agency, Mr. Femi Babafemi, says that Jimo was arrested on Friday, January the 16th, 2026, in Owode town in Ogun State, following intelligence-led operations by tactical teams of the agency, where a search of his hideout led to the recovery of 69 kilograms of skunk, which is a strain of cannabis. The statement explains that the suspect has been on the NDLEA wanted list since June the 15th, 2014, when he allegedly mobilized armed thugs to attack NDLEA officers who attempted to arrest him at his enclave. The statement adds that Lekon Jimo's criminal history is marked by extreme violence and lawlessness. As a result, he had, on the 15th of June 2014, orchestrated a barbaric mob action against a team of NDLEA officers who had attempted to arrest him. The attack resulted in the cold-blooded murder of 3 of the officers from the NDLEA, including Rabiu Usman Kazure and 2 others who were killed by armed thugs mobilized by him. While the suspect managed to escape the scene that day, the agency remained resolute in the pursuit of justice for the fallen heroes. The statement further adds that in related operations on August the 12th, 2023, NDLEA operatives raided Jimo's residence in Adodo in Ogun State, where 139 sacks of skunk weighing 1,922 kilograms were recovered. But the suspect again evaded arrest at the time, and the property, which was used as a drug warehouse, was later forfeited to the federal government following court proceedings. The world of sports, Senegal a few minutes to lifting their second Africa Cup of Nations title as they led them host Morocco 1-0 in the most critic final in the history of the competition. Well, the final was delayed for almost 20 minutes, right at the end of the game, after Senegal players furiously protested a controversial penalty awarded to Morocco, and most of the Senegal team walked off the pitch very angry. Away from fans also threw objects as they tried to enter the field of play, with Morocco having the chance to win the final with practically the last kick of the match. Brahim Diaz, however, missed the penalty when play resumed, sending the game to extra time. And more reactions continue to trail Nigeria's Super Eagles bronze medal at the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. Some analysts want the country's football ruling body to stick with the current head coach, Eric Chell, and continue a building process towards the next AFCON come 2027. Our sports correspondent, Austin Okonakpan, reports.
Another bronze medal for Nigeria at the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. That's bronze medal number 9. The Super Eagles, they showed a bit of improvement from what we saw at the World Cup playoffs. At the post-match conference, Coach Eric Shell said he wants to build a team that will have an identity and project the future of Nigeria's football. Let's listen to him.
My mission now is to keep this group. If I always the coach of Nigeria, of course. My mission is to keep this group. And our mission now is the next AFCON, because we don't go to the World Cup. And we wanted to, this AFCON was our World Cup.
So Coach Eric Shell has got a long-term plan for football in Nigeria. But does the Nigeria Football Federation have a long-term plan for football in the country? That's the big question. And right after the win over Egypt, right here in Casablanca, I caught up with some sports enthusiasts from Nigeria. They said, look, the Super Eagles, they have shown signs that they can improve, and that administration should also get into it.
This should be the last time we hear about maybe owing players, welfare issues, outstanding payments. It shouldn't surface again. And the second thing is, a lot of people have said that, oh, Morocco is making the tournament their thing. They've made AFCON their property. They've got structures. NFF should put structures in place. You want to fight for your rights, then you need something to fight for your rights. The players need equipment to train.
Let us stop being a competition country. Let us work at home, build a grassroots so that we can have an infusion in the national team at the end of the day.
If you look at the organization of things here in Morocco, I think the Nigeria Football Federation could learn a few things and also improve ahead of when they play matches at home or organize friendlies on the road.
You already know the Super Eagles failed to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And the bronze medal here in Morocco, is it what Nigerian football fans want? Is it enough consolation? Does the future look good? But one thing is certain, of everything that has happened right here in Morocco, people believe that it's important to keep this group together. There's another section that agrees that we should keep Coach Eric Shell. But in everything, leadership plays a big part in all of this. And that's why the next stop is on the Nigeria Football Federation. What's the long-term plan for football administration and management in Nigeria? Austin Okonakman, Channels Television News, Casablanca.
And Rivers United beats defending champions Remo Stars 1-0 in Matchday 21 clash of the Nigeria Premier Football League played this evening to stay 4 points clear at the top of the league. Well, Aniekeme Okon scored the decisive goal 9 minutes from the time to hand the pride of Rivers their 11th win of the season, taking them to 41 points from 21 games. As for Abia Warriors, they trailed Rivers United in second spot, having recorded the only away win of the day, edging past Pillars 1-0 at the Sani Abacha Stadium. Right here in Lagos, Ikorodu City bounced back to winning ways following a 1-0 victory over Kwara United. In other games for today, Bayelsa United beat Shooting Stars 2-0. Bendel Insurance prevailed in 3-goals thriller. And as for Nasarawa United and Plateau United, they enjoyed home wins. Well, outside our shores and away from sports, European leaders have been reacting to U.S. President Donald Trump's intention to impose a 10% tariff on 8 NATO members over Greenland. A statement from the leaders of Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, the Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, and the UK warned that the plan risks a dangerous downward spiral. On Saturday, the United States president announced at the White House that he was considering imposing the tariffs just days after members of his administration met with Danish and Greenland officials.
They said, no, we're going to put a 25% tariff, which is, by the way, about 7 times more than they would have to pay by raising their drug, like 7 times. This was
the words of U.S. President Donald Trump that has shaken European leaders and put Greenland and Denmark on edge about Trump's genuine plans for the Danish territory. It comes amid Trump's ongoing row with Europe over Greenland, as he continues to insist he needs to take over the territory for America's security.
We need Greenland for national security very badly. If we don't have it, we have a big hole in national security, especially when it comes to what we're doing in terms of the Golden Dome and all of the other things. We have a lot of investments in military. We have got the strongest military in the world, and it's only getting stronger.
Europe has responded, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer being the latest. A spokesperson says he's spoken with the US President on the phone on Sunday and that the security in the High North is a priority for all NATO allies in order to protect Euro-Atlantic interests. He says Mr. Starmer has also spoken to the Prime Minister of Denmark, Mette Frederiksen, President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, and NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte. European leaders held an emergency meeting in Brussels as a response to Trump's threats to tariff exports from the 8 countries. The Danish Prime Minister followed up with a declaration that Europe would be blackmailed into handing over Greenland.
Nei confronti di quelle nazioni che hanno scelto di contribuire alla sicurezza della Groenlandia.
Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni criticized Trump's plans to impose the tariffs, calling the move a mistake and urging dialogue through NATO to avoid escalation. Greenlanders also marched on Saturday against Trump's plans.
We are not here because we hate anyone. We are here because we love our land.
Back in the United States, Texas Republican Representative Michael McCall has expressed skepticism about Trump's plans to annex Greenland, saying if we want to put more military there, we can. We don't have to invade it.
And just a quick update, Senegal are now champions of the African Cup of Nations in the final in Rabat. So congratulations to Senegal. And the main news again. The federal government has filed a 3-count criminal charge against senior advocate Michael Zekome over alleged property forgery in the United Kingdom. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Anne Nwawadu. Have a wonderful week. Good night.